Welcome, Lounge Lizards, to another episode of Legions Lounge, episode 30, the show where we talk about all things Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Figure Obscura, customs, and other Mythic Legions related action figures and other stuff. I'm your host, Trevor, 16 Shooter. With me tonight is my co-host, the uber talented toy photographer, Nate Strong at Corona4 on the Instagram. How are you, Nate?
Good, man.
What's going on?
How are you?
Good, good. How was your
Awesome.
weekend?
It was great. Had a good time.
Yeah. What'd you do? Anything cool?
It was the Motor City Comic Con, their fall show.
Right.
Travis Bowles and OMK, Old Man Kyle, were in town for it.
I saw that.
So we hung out and with some other people that had some tables and
sporting the shirt, and
I was representing out there. Yeah. So it's a good time, fun people watching, and it's good being in the booth once in a while and pushing Mythic Legions on some new people. So
pushing
cool.
Plastic. Very nice.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs.
Nice. Bill is off tonight. I'm sure you've noticed, his beautiful locks are not within the it's the only hair on the show, really. Hopefully he'll be back with us next week. But do check out the Dorklair YouTube. He's been doing reviews of all the Alithia stuff and of the Headless Horseman, of course. If you haven't gotten your stuff yet, your Headless Horseman, and I have not. So you're not alone. I'm on Long Island. New Jersey is right there. It takes time. They're working their butts off over there. I know they are. I know this for a fact. So, if you haven't gotten your notice, or if it's kind of sitting there on FedEx or whatever, relax. You'll get it. It'll be you'll have it in time for Halloween. They've promised, I'm sure. So, it's coming. But yeah, go check out the Dorklair. His reviews of the Alithia Wave have been great. Before we get started, I'd like to take a second. Please take a second. It only takes a second. Hit that like button, like a raging ogre. Helps us out. Helps people to know that we're live. And if you want to hit the bell down there, it'll tell you when new content drops, whether it's this show on a random Monday or the 1/6 pack if you're into 1/6 figures, or toy photography stuff. Whenever I get back to that after I stop doing things for Horsemen. But that will tell you when stuff comes up, so do that. I want to shout out a few people, do our super chat people. I've actually taken the time to put up our Lords of the Lounge from last week. That's what I'm calling it.
Nice.
Curtis Akerman, of course, our patron and one of our guests tonight. Hopefully it'll cut down on his super chats, him being in here, but who knows? But we always appreciate it. We totally appreciate it. Billy Beige, aka Will White. Jonathan, our friend Jonathan Hedgehog Action, who also has a great YouTube
video.
He's got to get some more review stuff up, man. Come on, let's go, Jonathan. Let's go. Rob Zamora, Scott Baker with 2 or 3 last week. Brit's Casual Toy Reviews coming through with a big one last week. Mindless Focus. Josh McMahon, who won a T-shirt. He won the 2 orc figures and the T-shirt a couple weeks ago. And he had a problem. There was, I guess, a fire in his condominium.
Oh, no.
Not his condominium, but his building. And I think his building is okay, or his condo is okay, but the mail was delayed because of all of that, so he was wondering where it was. But he eventually, I think, got everything. I hope.
Nice, hope so.
Hopefully all that's in his head. Yeah, and hopefully everything is back to normal for him. Machu Toy, Andrew. I think it's pronounced Chappelle. So Andrew, if you're here, let me know. I don't want to mispronounce your name. You're here all the time, and we appreciate you being here, and we appreciate your super chat. So I don't want to mispronounce your name. I think it's Chappelle, if I'm, or something in that realm. Kevin Boots, and of course, our friend Dave Orkin.
Cool.
The T-shirts that you've been winning have been courtesy of Dave Orkin. Now we've ordered a bunch of T-shirts from Dave now for Legions Con. This was kind of a prototype run for him for us, and we greatly appreciate that. But we're going to have some for sale. I haven't been selling any of these things that he gave us. but I have some for sale at LegionsCon, so you'll be able to get those
Awesome.
if you have not won one.
Well, speaking of super chaps,
Super chaps,
chats,
sure.
and
Super
chaps,
chaps, sure.
Kevin is a super chap. Let's get this started.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Kevin. And
good dude, Kevin Boots, good dude, man.
Super good dude. And once again, can you believe this? Brit's Casual Toys.
Thank you, Britt. Britt, go check out Britt's YouTube channel. She's got some reviews, although I don't know if she's been doing recently. I don't know if she's getting going again, but they're casual reviews, which is kind of cool. You know, it's not like over-the-top production or anything like that. It's just her chilling, talking about her toys, which is just cool. So thank you very much, Britt. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Britt.
Who we got in the chat, Nate? Who's here?
Who do we have? Of course, we have Dave Orkin, and we just talked about Kevin. Who else we got? Jacob Forna. Alexander Deshaw. Brick something. Cullen's with us. Hey, Articulated Times. David Williams. Jesse Just Shelve It.
Jesse did a great interview with Nate Birch yesterday. It was
I missed it. Yeah.
I mean, all his shows are great. Go check out Just Shelve It on YouTube as well. And he'll do like a random thing on Facebook as well every once in a while. It was a really good discussion with Nate yesterday.
Cool. I'm definitely going back and watching that. Anthony Houseal says so many macho men on screen at once. I think he's looking forward to what's coming up. Vonnie Rotten, Danny Caudell, River Swift's with us, Jay Mack, T. Bellet, Articulated Times, Axel Soria, Andrew, Jeremy and Frank Lira, Jonathan Hedgehog, Mike Woods, Carlo, Andrew, Laura, Chuckaluck, Eric, Fighting Code Names, Mark R, and the Lord is with us. Team Wolf King didn't even tell me about this. I can't believe that they left the Lord out.
Wow. I told him to invite you, man. I told Len. I'm like, definitely get Steve on for sure.
NYC Figure Fanatic Jay Wright. What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have a great show.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Oh, from Jonathan too. Thank you, man.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
Nice. Cool. And Andrew. Sheppill. There you go. I had it right. Sheppill. Wow, damn, man. Right? That's good. Sheppill.
Perfect.
Cool. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Yeah, that's good, man.
I appreciate the $10 for telling us how to pronounce your name. No, we appreciate everything, man. Because we are putting it back into it. I don't think I've actually gotten paid from YouTube yet. I'm still waiting for something to come through here, so this is still like.
That's a good tactic, though.
Charity.
I know I've got your name right. Let us know in a super chat if we're saying it right.
I didn't say a super chat.
I know
you
didn't.
To pay.
I know.
Okay. But thank you. We appreciate it. But we're gonna, go more and more giveaways. I don't know if we got something tonight. We'll see what I got. I've been scrambling, so I didn't pull anything together specifically. But we'll see what we can do. Cool. All right. I want to get these guys out here.
Rob,
so there's not a lot of news going on.
No.
I will say this. Everybody's waiting, for G-Con and LegionsCon. I am starting to shoot the new stuff. And I will tell you that if you are coming to Intern for a Day or G-Con, or even really watching at home, bring an extra pair of shorts because
man,
you're gonna crap yourself, man. Again, we come to expect this, of course, you know what I mean? But you'd think at some point there would be something where you'd go, yeah, it was okay, it was all right. This never happens. It never
exceeding
happens.
Expectations.
It's just nuts, man. It's nuts. It gets more detail, it's just gorgeous. I think I can say there's new parts. Everybody kind of expects that, but you're gonna to borrow a Yiddish word, you're gonna plot, man. It's
Love it. Cannot wait.
Let's see what else. I went to ToyCon New Jersey this weekend. So
cool.
I saw a bunch of people there. Got my Plunderling Drench. This one's not Drench though. This is Drench Abyss. Yeah.
Was that an exclusive for the show?
It was an exclusive, and I did look on eBay. I only got 2. You could get 3, but I just got 2. I was gonna get 3 just in case, because there's people like I know that collect these things that want them. But this was on and purchase, not just for sale, for $450.
Oh
on
my
eBay already.
God!
It's a $30 product. Come on, people.
Unbelievable.
Get the hell out of here.
Insane.
Crazy. I saw the boys from Fox Force Toys,
Right.
which I've talked to several times. They've
Yeah.
got their products out there.
Oh,
They're
cool.
out there now, so everything's come in.
Awesome.
And this was their exclusive, which you can't see at all, but it is a Boba Fett themed version of one of their characters.
God, that's wild. I remember talking to them on that last year's show.
Yeah. It looks really, really cool, man. And the products look great, man. And they were busy, which was awesome, because I've seen them there like a bunch of times, and you know, they're always positive and stuff, but it's like, here's some prototypes, some 3D stuff. And
now
it's
that
like,
they've got the goods.
If people saw the stuff and it was actually, you know, like articulated and everything like that, it'd be cool. And now
Super
it is.
cool.
And they said it was going nuts online for them, selling like crazy. So
man, good for them
during the show. So that's awesome. That's good.
Are they coming to LegionsCon or no? Do they have a booth there?
No, I don't think they are, because one of the guys is getting married. So and they're both in the wedding. So like, obviously.
There you go.
So they're not going to be there, but they're hoping. They said they were planning to do something. Joe, I think it was Joe, that was telling me that they're planning on doing something really big for next year. So they're going to be there.
Cool, awesome.
I also shout out to D Blake Makes. I picked up one of these.
Oh, cool.
Makes.
I just saw Mr. Stevie putting one on his DTOFs.
He's got if you don't know, D Blake Makes, he makes these signs that you can put on your DTOF or on your shelf. You can hang them up or you can set them there. He's got the factions. He's doing the Mythic Legions officially licensed faction logos. Yeah, the faction icons.
Cool.
They looked really good.
Awesome.
And he's got a couple more to do, but he's got 4 of the what are there 8? I should know this off the top of my head, but whatever. Yeah, they look really good. So look for those. One more bit of news. Prints are in. So we got prints. I don't know what this is. That's upside down. Got one.
Love that one. Gorgeous.
That one. So these are all going to be. I got the tribute figure as well.
Fantastic.
Yep. So.
And you said you're going ahead with the calendar that you announced last week, so that's great news.
Yeah. Calendar's happening. It's in production now. I was just talking to the printer today about some stuff.
Cool.
And I should have a bunch of them. There was a good amount of interest in it. Probably had like 80 responses, and you know, it was mainly want one, and a few maybes. So like
awesome.
I'm bringing more than I thought, and then putting it up today on Instagram. There was other people who were interested in it, so I think there'll be a bunch. We'll see.
Cool, man. I think so.
Should be enough for everybody. Makes a great gift.
Indeed.
The Christmas holiday. All right. Anything else news-wise, Nate?
I can't think other than, man, the clock is counting down. It's going to be here before we know it. And we just keep getting...
Thank you, Kevin.
We keep getting new reveals, and
that's right,
the excitement keeps ramping up. So, but I was going to ask, so the Horsemen at the show you were just at, we're selling off the less than perfect. I forget, that's not the exact term they used, but
there were boxes that were kind of like the box that I got for a Varg. I got another Varg because I bought these gargoyle heads, and forgive me because I can't remember where the hell I bought them from, but and I want to make gargoyles out of them. I want to paint them gray and look, they can make them look like stone. So I bought a Varg, and I bought the Sebulus here. And the Varg box was a little rough. Like it was like the cardboard was a little warped, and I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, so honestly, I couldn't tell you what was wrong with any of them. They had a lot of perplore, which was interesting. And then, you know, mainly the Alithia wave, not everything, not Alithia, as far as I saw. They had her horse. But yeah, it was it was a good amount. It wasn't crazy.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't what it's been, but it's so
just
close.
Wasn't as busy, but still great. I mean, still everybody was there and having a good time. So hopefully, I hope people made money.
Cool.
But yeah, it was good. That just means they're holding back some incredible stuff for LegionsCon. It's gonna be It's gonna be hard not to get in line.
I know. Yeah. Yep.
One of us may have to do that, Nate, or I'm gonna have to bring somebody with me. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right? Yeah. Just we'll have a list.
It is there. There may be kittens in it.
Hang in there, baby.
Oilers just did a great. This is in 1/6 world, but if you're into 1/6, In Art did who's the new kid in town doing like the hyper real, really good looking high end, like almost custom level 1/6 stuff with Gandalf and the Joker and the Batman, and they had an event in Las Vegas. He was there, and I thought he got some great footage.
Stuff looked amazing.
Better than most people's footage, but he did a really good job. So go check that out if you want to see some good footage of the stuff. He's also got some great pictures. He's probably posting on his Instagram. I didn't look today, but I know he's got some good stuff. So
cool.
Go check it out. Anything else? What was we talking about here?
One last thing. I was going to give a shout out to Retro Rags and the people there. I got this in.
Oh, nice, man.
Super
That's
cool.
Awesome.
I saw Bill had his the flaming pumpkin. He had a post with that the other day. So
Jeremy was wearing a Furious 4 shirt.
Really?
Nate Barch art on it. So I'm assuming those are going to be available for sale.
Okay. Probably.
You had a table? Dude, I was all over that place.
Maybe he wasn't in his suit and you didn't recognize him.
No, I think he was in his suit. Actually, I think he was. I saw a picture of him there, but I thought he was just there on Saturday. I didn't know you had a table. Oh, dude. Damn it. All right. Well, next time, Jonathan. I'm sorry about that. I was all over that place. How did I not see you? There you go, Dave. Or Anthony. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going to flip my shorts backwards and then inside out. Since more figures in my back. There you go. Sure. Yeah, but you
pro tip from Anthony House Eel.
There you go. All right. Let's get on with this thing, man.
Let's do it.
Our guests tonight are approximately half the team from the very popular custom parts marketplace, Wolf King Customs. Doing this for 2 years, man. One of the early adapters in this marketplace, which has just been insane. We'll talk a little bit about that, but
it even seems longer than that for some reason. But yeah,
it does. But that's a long time, and it's just nuts
2 solid years. Awesome.
Like it's become an industry. You know what I mean? We'll talk about it, but it's crazy. Of course, they're going to have, which you can find at wolfkingcustoms.com. Of course, they're going to have a big presence at the upcoming LegionsCon. So please welcome to the show. Finally, it's a long time wanting to get them on the show.
Yes.
Owner-operator Len LaGuardia.
What's up, Len?
Hey,
Our patron, Curtis Akerman.
Curtis.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And drinking copious amounts of coffee in order to stay up with us tonight at this ungodly hour in Sweden, 3 o'clock in the morning. Emil Wickman.
Hello there.
Hey. Guys, Kings, Wolf Kings. Welcome to the show. How are you? How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Going great.
Great to
Emil's
be here.
like the liveliest guy, man, and it's like 3 in the morning. He's just like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
I am.
He's the one hopped up on the most caffeine.
That's true.
It's half
That's
a cup.
true.
Come on, that's.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for LegionsCon? Are you all prepared?
So ready.
So ready for it.
Ready. Wow.
Very.
I think you're the first group that's come on that said, yeah, totally. Yeah, we're ready to go. So let's talk a little bit about Wolf King Customs. Len, it's 2 years? You've been doing this for 2 years.
2 years, yep. It's crazy.
So
right?
what and first of all, I need to embiggen you because I need to see this wall. Is that a wall of parts that you have behind you?
That is the parts wall. That's
that
everything back there.
Insane.
The wall,
that is so cool.
That
warms my heart.
Not quite everything. Like some stuff's over here, like kind of overflow. But that's how I keep it organized.
That is a thing of beauty. I love organization. That is
it's
great.
actually pretty new. I only got it set up maybe like a month ago when we went full time, like full inventory all the time. It was the only way to keep it straight.
We're gonna get to that. I want to get a little bit of background though in terms of like what inspired you to do this. How did this thing come about? And we don't have the full team here. Of course, there's Jeremy Gerard, there's Walter DeMarco, somebody else I'm forgetting too. There's somebody else.
No, that's all who are part of the team.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. All right.
There was this other guy, but he was kind of like, well, I got my own figures now. So yeah, he was too good for us, and we were like, okay, why?
Wow.
Aren't we all friends? And he's like, no, business partners, not friends. And I'm like, no.
Sounds like he got a big ego, like a lord
he does.
Or something.
No. He is an ego. It's just a big one. It's like, and I love him, but he's like, no, I'm not into love. I'm into business.
There was this guy on the show like that last week too, man.
Yeah,
that's the same guy.
Sounds like he come across as an alpha or something.
Oh yeah, totally. That sounds like an alpha for sure. But so, all right. Sorry, Len. So, how did this get going with the people that are involved with this thing, and how did it evolve? Just a
going back, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think it goes back originally to a ZolaCon that we went to, and I think you were there, Trevor, right? I mean, you were there, the one where we had lunch.
Yep.
With CB.
Oh yes.
And I was already 3D printing with like filament type 3D printing, just really as fun and doing prototypes for people from CAD work. And right before that event, I had gotten the first like resin printer, and I kind of had it in my head from the first LegionsCon that I wanted to try doing some parts. And I really didn't want to do a business, so to say. I just wanted to make some parts for myself and my friends. And I made parts for us at that lunch, like a little sword and something like I kind of gave everyone one. I think it said ZolaCon or it had a Z on it. And after that, I think what happened, I got hooked up with Jeremy Gerard. He was looking to do his Kitsune parts. It was like a project that he had in his head already. He didn't know really how he was going to go about doing it. And I think he was talking to Anthony Hoseel, and Anthony told him, like, if you want to get into production of doing them, you should talk to Len, because he's kind of already in it deep, even though he's not selling anything yet. Maybe you two can hook up. And we did. And it's kind of like the rest is history type of thing. Or it's like, we started like with those Kitsune parts, and we did a first run of sets. And I already had website experience, like selling from my real business. I do screen printing and embroidery, and I do a lot of like spirit wear type things where a school can have like an online store and people can go and buy things. And so I already had some of that experience, and I had the website, so kind of crossed it all over. And
but that was that now Walter DeMarco that was doing the sculpting on those things?
Or? Yeah, that was the key part, because we needed a sculptor.
So how did that come about? So that you just reached out to somebody in the community, or how did that how did you hook up with Walter? You don't remember?
I'm not like 100% sure how Jeremy found him, because Jeremy actually hooked up with him first.
Okay.
And gotcha. What it was, I think that like Emil was, they were using that what's the website, Emil, that you were using?
Shapeways.
Shapeways.
Yeah. They were using. Yeah. I think that Jeremy was familiar with Walter from Shapeways.
Oh, okay.
And he had contacted him like off of Shapeways to, see about doing like some custom work for him, and that's where that came about.
Gotcha.
Cool. And like you said, the rest is history. Now those parts are going to be in Tactics. It's wild.
Yeah. And then shortly thereafter, I think it was Emil. It was Eddie, right? Eddie Salvatore hooked the two of us up, and then it really just blew up because we had this superstar Swedish guy with us that everyone wants.
He's the Swedish guy.
And we just then it really blew up, but it just like accelerated from there.
So Len, before you were doing stuff for Mythics, You were doing parts for other figures, like?
No, not really figures. I was doing like more filament printing. It was just I love all forms of printing. You know, whether it's picture printing or 3D printing or printing T-shirts or laser cutting. I just like everything that works on an XYZ axis. So like I've always been obsessed with it. I built my first 3D filament type printer, FDM printer from scratch, and it's just something that's always like I enjoy. I like to print things, and cool. That's kind of where it like started. I did a couple like GI Joe type things. I did some Motu stands for the vintage, like filament stands with the hoops so they would stand up, and little things like that before I started doing actual figure parts. And then I realized that you had to really use resin to do the parts.
Yeah.
So it took the right line, which is obviously Mythic Legions, to come about to make you take that leap into this.
Exactly.
How did that come? I guess so what came first? I mean, did Mythic Legions come first, or
absolutely.
You were obviously printing first before that, right? You were doing some work with 3D printing.
Right. Yeah. No, I got into Legions. I would say it was the year prior ZolaCon. I went there on a Sunday because I always went there. I was always into vintage toys, not so much new stuff. And I went there on a Sunday, and there was like a guy at the booth for the Horsemen, and he was all alone. I didn't know who it was, and I just kind of wandered by, and I looked, and I was like, "Oh, these figures are cool." And he was like, "Well, let me tell you about them." And he's telling me all about like we have these brand new figure. They're like 2.0. They're a skinnier, slender buck, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, neat. That's really cool." And I ended up leaving with two of them, even though I didn't know what they were. And it was a Night Elf Ranger and the 2.0 Builder Knight.
Nice.
And I walked over to my buddy Cookie that was with me, who at all the shows with me for years, and he's like, "What'd you just do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just bought this guy's figures over there. He's all alone." And I just,
Who was the guy? Who was it?
It was Eric.
No way.
Yeah. Wow. I had no idea. It was like so funny because I'm like thinking, well, I knew who the Horsemen were because I was into Toy Fair magazine, and they were like the rock stars, right? So I kind of knew of the names, but I figured it was just like a employee of theirs. I didn't think it was Eric. And I'm like, and even at we went to the next Toy Con like months later. We went to Toy Con, and he was there, and I started talking to him again. He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember talking to you," and we're like talking. I still didn't know it was Eric until someone told me like the next day. They were like, "Yeah, that's Eric you're talking to." I'm like, "It is?"
Wow.
He's the most unassuming guy.
Totally.
Like it's like, just like, it's a weird thing but he's humble. And it's like he just wouldn't say like, "Yeah, I design all these. These are all mine.
Oh yeah,
I created this entire mythology." And wrote all, like it's never come out of it. You have to drag it out of him. Who does these
hilarious.
things?
I think you're probably the only guy, Len, who's actually started supporting this line out of sympathy for a guy because he's all by himself.
It was so funny. I'll never forget it. It was hilarious.
What a beautiful story.
Yeah.
And so I guess next in the story, Emil, like where did you come in to this story? So you got introduced from Eddie.
Yeah. Because I had put up 2 sculpts on Shapeways for the first head sculpt that I did for my own customs. I figured that would be a way to get them printed for myself. The thing is, I never expected to sell anything because I wanted this print for myself, And then Eddie,
and you had just started doing 3D printing or 3D design, right? Like you,
exactly. I did it to be able to make a vampire for myself,
right?
And Eddie, just a good friend of mine, he kind of just, you should talk to Len LaGuardia about this. Maybe he would sell your stuff. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. Who would want to buy my stuff? So I didn't reach out to Len. And then Eddie got back to me 2 days later, like, "Have you talked to Len yet?" And I'm like, "What? No, you should do that." And then I contacted Len after a while, sent him some photos of some orcs. Thank you. And And I was afraid to ask Len if he wanted to do something with me. So I just sent them and asked him like, "Hi, what do you think about these?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're cool." Okay.
They need more hats.
No. And then he didn't say anything else. And it could have been the end there. And then I'm like, so Eddie pushed me again to just, yeah. So would you think you want to print them or something? So that's kind of the start, you know?
Gotcha.
And then like, oh, you want to do business? Yeah, okay.
It's like, oh, that's another thing.
Yeah.
What's up, Dave? All the hats.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because we had no model. I had no model for that. I didn't know how to work with another artist. Like, well, you know, I worked with Jeremy, but it was just him and I. Like, you know, it was different. Yeah. So to bring in an artist, I had to like figure it all out. Like, I had to figure out not so much contracts, but like, you know, the rates, like the payment, like everything from scratch.
Yeah. International
and there was no standard for it beyond like what that I'm gonna forget the website again. What's the website again? Shapeways. There's no standard to compare beyond that, because any of our peers that were doing it, they weren't talking about it. Like, no one would say anything. It's not common knowledge, so we had to really like wing it, you know.
Yeah,
and is it going to be
new trails, man?
And is it going to be like a collective where there's just these people, or are other people going to come to you and do this? So like,
it's like, are you going to buy the art from them? Are you going to let them keep the art themselves, like ownership, and pay percentages? Like, there's a lot to get figured out with it.
Right.
I think we made the right moves. So,
and then you got to convert to Swedish kroners.
Yeah, we let PayPal do that.
Got to figure that all out. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting how it just kind of organically came about, and I don't know if anybody else is doing it like that before that, and I really don't think anybody else is doing it like that. Am I wrong about that? Like, it's kind of individuals for the most part, right? I mean, it's generally everybody who's doing their thing is kind of doing it individually and not really a collective of artists and stuff like that who are contributing. So it's a unique entity, which is really cool. And then you did things like God's Fire, right? I mean, that came about with the other guy. Who was that you were talking about? Was that somebody?
I keep forgetting, but I remember we had a thing going on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, he reached out. For the ones who don't know, Stephen Bishardi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
I just remembered his name. No, he reached out to me asking about these, maybe doing something, or just talking actually about these characters that he has been sketching on while in church. So he was in church and started looking at these statues.
I
and
remember
like,
the story.
Yeah, just would be cool with some warrior monks fighting. It's like, so it started with an idea of warrior monks.
Mm-hmm.
The believer and the judge characters, and from there on, we kind of just, you know, when there are two people that start talking,
love each other very much,
right?
Oh, it's not that conversation. Sorry.
Get to hanging out, creating figures together, and things come out.
We just kept talking, you know. It was just so much fun, and then it grew from there. So
and such a cool thing that, like, I mean, we've talked with you about this before, but just a cool thing that it's like kind of your own spin-off of this, you know, mythology. Like, it's like taking, it's pretty amazing, this set of figures that these guys have come up with. There's not a lot that you can compare it to. I guess the Glyos sort of system is sort of like that, but like the way people build off of it and build their own things off of it, but haven't seen anything like this where people will take things and just, there's literally like, hey, we're going to create our own line of story and things like this that you can buy and create your own figures from. It's pretty cool. I mean,
the Mythic Legions figures are really something unique. I mean, we all know that, but it's really it's like what do you say? It triggers creativity among everyone, you know, even if we're just swapping heads, you know.
Mm-hmm. And it's been said a million times, and it's worth repeating, that the Four Horsemen foster that creativity as well and encourage it. So it's not every line does that. But
we were talking about that last week. somebody was saying something. Was that you?
That's okay.
Nate?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, we were saying that last week. It's just that they bring people in to do this stuff. It's amazing. Like it's
Hi, Frank. Frank was the awesome. Him and Anna drove me to the airport after last LegionsCon.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Good people,
Super
man.
thankful for
Super
that.
good people.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Francisco. Thank you for helping helping bring Emil to us, to LegionsCon.
They also educated me about Starbucks coffee. So I learned a lot from about the US.
I was with you when you went to your first Starbucks coffee, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. This was the second one. I got more education that time.
Gotcha.
Okay, sorry. Continue with the Mr. Akerman.
And Curtis, our patron, our friend, the man with the beautiful eyes, like just
and dimples to boot.
Freaking
Thank you.
We need more light on your face here because we need.
Yeah. I need a soft light.
That's right, you do. Nice soft box off to the side. How did you get involved in all this? You're somewhat new to this, right? In the last year or so, right?
Yeah, early 21. I got into the line. At the time, I was listening to Steven's other podcast, Podcasters of the Universe, and I really wasn't listening to My Wife Is Going to Kill Me. I'm a big He-Man guy, for years, and they talked about this Mythic Legions line several times, and I never really thought much of it. And then they were doing a live where they were showing a couple figures, and one of them was the Lord Dragool, and I fell in love with it. And I reached out to Steven after the show and kind of talked to him, and he just sent me a figure. He sent me that Lord Dragool, and as soon as I got it in hand, I was hooked. So went and bought everything that was available on Big Bad Toy Store. Starting searching for some older figures and kind of getting into the customizing thing. And as it came up to LegionsCon last year, I really wanted to go, but I've got some social anxiety issues that I've kind of talked about on Jesse's show, and so I really couldn't make it. And after the show, Len reached out to me, and I had talked to Len a few times, but I couldn't get a real good read on him. Kind of like Emil, I couldn't tell if Len liked me, didn't like me. I didn't know what was going on. And he reached out to me after the show, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I brought you to LegionsCon." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then he showed me a picture of a kind of a postcard thing, this big thing that he had of one of my customs I did with his parts. And it had my name on it and stuff. And he had displayed it in his booth at LegionsCon. And just the fact that somebody would do that out of the blue, and not, he didn't tell me about it beforehand. He, whatever, he just kind of did it. And I was blown away by that. Like the generosity, and just, Len's just a great dude. So I fell in love with Wolf King. I mean, I was already buying their parts and stuff, but I fell in love with them after that. Yeah. And then I got into the God's Fire series, and, that was a game changer because I just love the bios and all the stories behind it. It's not just buying parts. It's like you're buying these characters. Yeah. And then you can put your own spin on it. And so I would reach out to Emil and Len and kind of talk to them about the stories with these. And Steven started kind of hitting me up and saying, hey, have you ever thought about doing some painting, for another company? And he's like, I think that you could probably paint for Wolf King Customs. And he kept kind of trickling it in there. And, it's kind of a trade-off because any work that you're doing for somebody else is less time that you have work on your stuff.
Right.
But one of the things that Steven told me was, he said, hey, my painting has gotten so much better by painting for Wolf King because you're doing, 10, 20, 30 heads at a time. And, you get to practice on that many eyes, that many, flesh tones, whatever it is. So that, I was like, okay, well, let's do it. And so we kind of got involved, and I think at the same time, Steven was kind of going off to do his own thing. And so they needed kind of a Steven lookalike, like a Wish Steven to work with Emil, so that they didn't want Emil to leave. They needed something.
Somebody just keep him grounded and keep him there. Like, oh, that's sort of Steve right there. He's got beautiful hair and
Well,
it's
Curtis,
surprising that Steve would Steve would need practice because I know he was like born with a brush in his hand, so I don't know why that.
Yeah, but he was talking about Curtis and the rest of us.
And how much of his story was just a sales pitch, but
right. So just to make you feel, which is another thing he doesn't do, is make anybody feel confident about their painting. He just tells you like you can't learn. You may as well just get.
Yeah, I mean the first thing he said was, "Hey, you really need more practice." So I think you should start with working customs.
Just dive right in, man. Just dive and turn yourself to the ground. There you go. That's great. So you've
Curtis,
been
I was gonna say you're just how far you've come since. And how quickly you've come since just getting into the line, getting a ton of stuff, customizing. Now you're with Wolf King, and one of the biggest steps is you're going to LegionsCon, brother. And we all can't wait to meet you.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's I won the trip to intern, so I'm going to intern, the G-Con, the whole thing. So I'm nervous.
Of course, you won it,
and I'm ready. Yeah.
Of course you were. Yes, of course you won it. Yeah, of course you did.
That's great. But super big congrats to you, man. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, hosting YouTube shows and stuff for this guy over here, and
it's awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And Curtis has actually written his first, God's Fire bios.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Man. So he created the story for. Well, you can tell them Jokan and Agamor.
Yeah, the Purge and his brother Jokan. So it was an interesting thing working with Emil and Steven and Len and kind of bouncing ideas back and forth. I try to be the kind of person that's happy for others. So if somebody gets their headless horseman and I haven't gotten mine, I try to be happy for them. And
so that's the main difference between you and Steven, probably.
Well, that's how you can tell them apart.
Right. And when Jeremy got his full-time position with, the Four Horsemen, I was really excited for him. Well, this is kind of like that for me. Like when I got asked to help work on a God's Fire character and then even to work on a bio, I'm like this is dreamland. So I'm super excited and just happy to be here.
Well, and you're helping. And I are happy for all you guys too. Just make sure if you guys all stay in your lane and leave the photography to, us guys.
Good point. Good point, Nate. Excellent.
I haven't even been allowed to write a bio yet.
Yeah, because your first feedback is all the time. It's like, where's his hat? What hat is he wearing? But no,
it would be like 3 paragraphs about his hat.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're also, Curtis, helping to run the Wolf Den Facebook page, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Len, you want to kind of talk about how you started it and what the idea was behind it, and I can kind of take over from there.
Yeah, sure. I first of all, I see Walter's here, Walter the Mad, and want to say hi to him. Shout out to my buddy. And that's kind of where we're going, because the Cabal. I joined the Cabal. I think there was like 300 people in it, and it is and always has been a really nurturing and great environment for people to display everything they want, from awesome photography to customs to pop and swaps and just like everything. Right? We all know that. We're all in it. We love it. One thing I don't like seeing in the Cabal is spam, like just constant, spamming, spam, like our sale is on, this is our new model, this is going on. So, I just figured, let me make a separate group, and if you want to be in it, know that you're going to come in it and you're going to see it. Like I'm going to tell you 3 times when a sale's dropping. I'm going to, be ready for it. So if you're joining not for just that reason, but you're kind of joining to know that you're going to see it. And that's the main reason that I really made it. And we kind of found it to be another environment where we can just talk about like what we're doing, and then I made Curtis an admin because I just didn't have time. Like a lot of the socials they really take a lot of time. That's one thing I learned over 2 years.
Yeah, they do.
It's crazy.
You
like you
cannot
just
do it yourself, man.
I mean, you're just like, oh, I got to Instagram, I got to do this, and the group wasn't really getting much traction at all because I wasn't putting the time into it that it needed. So I had asked Curtis. I said, "Do you think that there's a way, if I brought you on as admin, you can like help me get it going, make some interesting conversation?" And he did. He jumped in right away. I think we did like a contest or something, and
that's it, man. That's what you got to do with those groups. I've started some groups and I've abandoned them like children I don't care about. And like they just they're growing, but like you have to nurture that stuff. You have to have somebody in charge of it. It's a lot of work, especially
really
a Facebook group, because there's a lot of activity in those Facebook groups. It's not just like put a post and wait for some likes and stuff. Like there's if you allow people to post stuff, then that's a whole other aspect of it. Yeah. But it can be great, and I think it's great. Like you guys have turned it into a very customizing centric, like learning with the videos and things like that, and now moving on to the sort of the YouTube channel. You're doing YouTube, right? You're doing YouTube and Facebook Live, right? For your
Well, Emil has we did the one live stream with me and Emil posted it on his YouTube, but for the most part, it's within the Wolfden page.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of that stuff.
That's all Curtis' fault, because he was like, "Shall we do a live stream?" And I was like, "What? Why?" Yeah, you can sculpt and like, who want to see that? And it's like, come on, you can do it. It's like, no, that would be. So he kind of like, yeah, let's do it. It will be fun, and there will be people who will enjoy it. And I'm like, you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Come on, let's do it. So okay, so let's do it.
It was great.
It was, not only was it amazing to watch, I mean, it's fascinating, but the piece that came out of it is freaking wonderful. And just speaking of Spam real quick, Rob's more.
And again, I take 15%.
Of course,
for that name.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Len handles that.
But Rob, instead of spamming the cabal asking about Gambit, he went right to the source here, and
there you go.
He's asking Emil.
I think I must have gotten the wrong address, Rob, because it's already been sent. I mean, if you haven't received it, maybe it's just
another super chat. Put your address up for everyone to see, Rob. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
for everyone to see your address.
And tell us how to pronounce your last name, Rob.
Right, while you're at
it.
That's another $4.99.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. The X-Men Len hates?
Gambit's the worst.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, man. I've grown to like him, but I was with you back in the 90s, man. I freaking hated Gambit, and I hated Longshot. I hated Longshot.
Oh.
Yeah, but Longshot I can get, but Gambit, he's
Gambit
one of my top 5 favorites of all time.
Man. He was annoying early on. Like the way Claremont wrote him with the whole
with Rogue
Cajun, the Cajun thing and stuff. It was just it was a little annoying. It was like he was like, yeah, you're getting too much like Wolverine. You're not Wolverine. You're not as cool as Wolverine, but you probably are.
Yeah, he probably is.
That's why I didn't like him. Oh, hey, Curtis Akerman. I think that's how you pronounce that. They said I can only know the show if I get my super chats.
Just in time, Curtis is about to send you back to the green room. So
thanks. So
and Rob did come back.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You're in charge.
Len, how dare you?
Gnip going on.
Right. I think I bailed on X-Men as a book right before Gambit because I don't even I don't even remember the character that much. So to me, he's like late edition add-on. Even though that sounds crazy, but I want to say when like Magneto was like turning into a good guy is when I bailed.
Oh yeah. I like that twist. That was a good turn.
Yeah,
there was some good books in that era, but Longshot he pissed me off.
See, when I was younger, I was into DC comics. I didn't read Marvel, so my introduction to X-Men was the cartoon, the X-Men Adventures.
Okay,
and I absolutely loved Gambit in there. The whole Cajun accent. He's just so cool, and picking up the ladies, and
he was cool.
He's very suave.
Cool.
What kind of power did he have? He threw freaking.
It doesn't matter. He's cool. He's good with the ladies. You don't need to have powers.
He's one of the overpowered ones.
Look out for my card, mon ami.
It's too late. I'm gonna calm down.
I think if you grew up liking Wolverine, like you were just like a Wolverine guy. Like nobody liked Cyclops. He was a douchebag. And Wolverine was like the guy you wanted to see him get Jean Grey. You wanted him to like, but he was always like, on the edge, on the outside. So he was like you thought you were cool, but you were always kind of on the outside. But Gambit was just like a cover boy, man. And it's just like, not this guy. Wow, I really, that's a lot. This just came out of me right there.
You've been carrying that.
I feel like I need to lay down or something. Dave, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave. And he didn't say anything, but I think what he meant to say was, "Let's get back to Legions." Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's probably taking us back.
So
sometimes
so
we gotta
just
go
to
off on
kind of
tangents.
That's all right.
Just to kind of touch on the Wolfden aspect on Facebook. If you're not part of that group, basically what we've been trying to do there is really just use that page to show off new parts that we've got coming out, show off new paint jobs, interact with other customizers. I know Steve's done quite a few live streams on painting.
Yeah.
I've done a few. We had the live stream with Emil sculpting. And something we've recently started doing is on the weekends, we're opening up this thing called Customizing Studio. And it's just a video chat room that we open up. Usually it's either Saturday night or Sunday morning. And then people are just pop in and they're working on whatever individual projects they've got. And we're just chatting. And
awesome.
Like this past week, we had Jesse in there, Luis Torres, Steven and Emil both showed up. Some people are working on dios. Some people are working on painting, whatever, and just kind of chatting and talking with each other. So I think the live streams are good. But like the reason we started these video chat rooms is one day I was on there doing a live stream and painting, and I think like one person would jump in and then they would jump out, and then somebody else would jump in and then they would jump out. And I was like, rather than them just watching me paint, let's open up a room, get everybody in here that wants to be in here, and let's just kind of talk about things. So it's been really fun. To Len's point, we always, anybody that joins us, we say, make sure that you're in the Cabal. That's like the number one page to be in. But you want to know what's going on in Wolf King and you want to interact with other customizers and stuff with the parts that we're using, the Wolfden's a good place to be.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday we had a video chat going on for many hours. I was working at the computer, having my phone there, and we were just chatting.
Totally getting in on that next Sunday because I want to sit and do some stuff. I'm trying to finish up some stuff for LegionsCon, and like I said, I wanted to do it the other day, but I was kind of out in public, so I didn't really have anything to do here. All right, sorry. I'm sorry, Joe. Joe Gonsalves says Cyclops is always my favorite. Why can't the goody two shoes get any love? No, I didn't hate Cyclops. I'm being a little hard on Cyclops.
Okay, so the thing with Cyclops,
and then Jonathan,
you didn't want him to lose
Rogue,
or Jean. You didn't want Cyclops to lose Jean. You wanted the tension between Wolverine and Jean, but you didn't want them to be together because Cyclops was he was the good guy. He was better for Jean, I
think, all right, if you want to get, all right, well, I'm going to do one more piece of psychology here in X-Men, and I think the reason that I feel like you were kind of okay with Cyclops getting Jean is that, like, if this douchebag can get Jean, I can get Jean.
Yes. Because I'm not as cool as Wolverine.
I'm nowhere near as cool as Wolverine.
I'm
I'm cooler than Cyclops, though. Just I don't, laser eyes, which kind of sucks anyway. And yes, Rogue is the goat. There you go. Member. Yeah, we're getting to it, man. There's offshoots of this stuff.
Right.
So how do you get to the? We'll put a link for the Wolfden in the. I didn't put it in there right now, but after this we'll put it in there. And just look it up on Facebook. If you're in the Mythic Legions Cabal, I think there's a link in there to that, or you could find it in there, or just.
I think if you just search the Wolfden, you should get it. Especially.
And so, Len, you've started Friday afternoon vids. You've done like what? 23?
Yeah. I kind of like
deck or from the porch, or you've done some right from where you're sitting here.
Yeah, it's getting cold on the porch, so so now I'm doing it from right here with the wall behind me, and it's just the way on Friday because we've been dropping new things on Friday, like inventory wise, so I can like pick it up and show people what it's like, what it fits like on different figures. If anyone has questions about it, they can ask, or questions about old stuff, anything in inventory, and then just kind of chat, just kind of talk. Yeah. I actually run out of time every week. Like I kind of like last time I did it, I had like a pile of loot box I wanted to open for everyone, but just kind of ran out of time. It's fun.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff. Speaking of stuff and showing off stuff,
sorry, but there is an alpha in the chat that he's kind of like.
Oh my God, well, it's not a super chat, so we're not paying attention to that.
Yeah, it's not a super chat.
A super chat.
No. We're playing by his rules, so
that's right. Super chance. All right, we'll give him a chance here.
Okay.
I just felt like it was a combination.
I kind of want to paint a combination of these three characters to make a even one.
That is so perfect.
See, take the worst part of all three. It's like, no, sorry.
I see you more of a beast. I see you more of a beast, Steve.
All right.
Cycladi.
Right. So let's talk about some parts here. Recently, like, you're not holding anything back and doing anything secret for the show, which some people have been doing. But I've been saying, like, I think a good idea is to kind of show people what you're going to have there, because there's going to be a lot there this year. It's not going to be like even last year, or especially the year before, where there was few and far between people selling stuff. You're going to have a lot of competition. And I think giving people the idea of what you're going to have for sale and giving them, the chance to sort of figure out where their money's going to go is a good idea.
A lot ahead.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot ahead. Plot ahead. Yes, sorry.
Plot ahead.
So let's take a look at some of the stuff that you've been putting up on the group. This thing is awesome. Now, this is our friend Doug Dollmaker, right? Like, this is
right. Yep.
This is your
website.
Head, right?
Yeah. What we did is, as soon as I got my hands on a Centaur and we got the brute scale to play with, I started like upsizing on the test printer, like running some upsized models to see like to hit that sweet spot. And it was funny because Doug actually, like, he got his Centaur a while before I got mine. And he was bugging me right away because as soon as he must have opened it, he was like, oh man, like this is like breathing all new life into my creative like love for the line. And he was bugging me right away, like, when you doing brute scale? When you doing brute scale? And I'm like, just calm down. I'm like, I need to get it too. Like, I need to see what it's like, because you can't just guess, especially with this scale, because it's not that much larger than normal. And I know I didn't know at the time, but we found out later that he was bugging Emil too. So he was hitting us from all sides. And Emil and I got together and I was like, listen, I said, I know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, and I already had his address. I had Doug's address already from him being a customer from a while ago. And I just sent him a bunch of them. And when he got them, he's like, oh my God, like, what is this? And I'm like, no, go ahead and make something awesome.
Nice.
And he sure did. He made a bunch of awesome things.
Doug is a super creative dude, and he's been doing these dolls. If you haven't seen his work,
Fabian's Finest Freaks, I think.
Fabian's Finest Freaks is the website, and it's like kind of creepy. I have one of his pumpkins. I've got to pull it out because it's Halloween. Oh, is it on my desk? I think it's on my desk. That's how messy my desk is. But they're awesome, man. They're these kind of like creepy, sad dolls with just incredible detail. He does amazing work, and he's a Mythic Legions collector, and he's really into it. And I'm really happy to see him doing more and more stuff like this with the Mythic Legions. He has been doing custom stuff, but this is by far, I think, some of the coolest stuff he's done. It's really amazing, and awesome. He made this head just so fits this so perfectly.
Yeah, that's Walter DeMarco, Mass Customs, and that's we call it the beard armor dwarf. And we've made that. He's been around for about over a year in our normal lineup. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize that. Okay.
Oh yeah, that one's been around, and
looks so good at the scale. I mean,
yeah, we upscaled it for this.
Fits it perfect.
I think this works perfectly for this, and I want to basically rip this off. And
Yeah, same.
Or I'm going to talk to Doug about buying it. One of the two.
Well, good luck with that.
Oh no, he won't sell it. He sells stuff.
I know. That's what I know. Well, the next one, the other one, is the one I tried. This one he just sent me the other day.
Yeah, this is cool.
The pics.
Look at that fur, my God.
Yeah, the fur adds so much.
And the next
That's
one
Emil's
is the
head.
next slide.
Yeah.
Is there another picture of it? No, okay. I thought
Yeah.
there was another picture. I want to get a little closer to that. That's beautiful too. That's a great sculpt. That's Emil's?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
That's nice.
Amazing.
Beautiful. Man, he did a great paint job on this too. Incredible. Dude is
it was really smart.
He must have been born with this talent, but he really should stay in his lane and just keep creating dolls, basically.
I saw him say something today to someone about the fur, that he likes to use it because it covers up some of the joints in the front, and you can get like more articulation from the horse by using the fur to cover those points. And I didn't know that until I saw him comment that today to someone else.
It looks really cool. I didn't think about that but I mean, if you're a centaur, you're gonna do some cold bits back there and keep the breeze off your front, and it's kind of nice. It looks great, man. The colors and everything. He's got a great eye, and this is cool. I'm really happy. And this is another one, man. Good.
Yeah, I love this one.
Now this is the same. This is the same body with some different pieces on the torso, the shoulder, the pauldrons and stuff like that.
The poses to get for the horse.
Yeah.
That's a head. That is a head that we did kind of like a fan feedback on Instagram with. And he poor guy doesn't even have a name yet. In my files, I think he's just called like Evil Head 2. But he was just planning. I was planning for him to be a normal scale head. And we did, as the progress moved on, Gina Luca did the sculpt on this, and we showed the renders on Instagram, and people gave feedback on things to change. And as we did, this is what we came up with. And it's not a skull inside; it's more like a ghoul, like a zombie type head.
Oh wow!
And when I got the centaur, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be cool if I upscale this head for it." And I think it came out great. It's got a real Frazetta kind of look to it.
That's going to be cool, man. And think about this kind of stuff, man. That we got Necronominus coming out. You might want some, demon, zombie, ghoul, skeleton figures, man. It's going to be in and around that stuff.
Listen carefully for spoilers.
Hint.
There's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. It's Necronominus. He's skeletons, right? I mean, it's the dead. Tell me about this one. Oh wow! Look at this body. Holy crap! I didn't even see this.
Yeah, this was. I think we showed this last week. This is by some guy. What's his name again? Steven Biscotti.
Biscotti.
Biscotti from Michigan. Biscotti.
Yeah, he's from Michigan, and it's really funny because that torso is old. Again, it's Walter DeMarco, Mass Customs.
That I remember. Yeah,
we've had it for quite a while. As soon as I got the first horse, what's the first horse?
Bellius.
Yes. As soon as I got the first one, I was like, this guy's going to be a centaur. Like I could take this because it's like a larger scale torso. It's a little bigger than your normal torso, of course, because it has 4 arm joints. And I tried fitting it, and I realized, you know what? It needs to have another part. Like it won't work the way it is. I would have to engineer another part, and then boom, they showed Balius, and I'm like, or they showed the centaur that we got with Olivia, and I was like, well, that project's done. Like I don't need to make a centaur anymore because they're doing it. So the first thing I did with the centaur was try to fit this 4-arm torso to it, and I had to adjust it a little bit and do some like tinkering to make it work. And as soon as I got the first models done, I put this head on it, which is Steven's sculpt. Like Steven actually made that. And I was like, man, this works out. This just looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I sent all the parts to him right away just to get on, and he did, and he just knocked it out of the park, man.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
I got to think, like, it's got to be hard to be the Horseman at this point, to stay ahead of things that people like. You know, you put out a horse, and immediately people are thinking, "Ooh, Centaur." like, yeah, we have that in mind. It's in the works.
Yeah,
but
like I said, there's certain like if I see it, I'm done with it. Like, you know, like if I see they're gonna do it, because I don't know about you guys, but like the factory stuff's better. Like, it's always better. It's just it's injection molded. Like, it's just better. And if I see it coming down the line, or I'm like, oh, that's like, I'm not even gonna bother. You know, there's just no use, even if it's a year or a year and a half away. And that was kind of like what happened there, because I was like, nah, but I didn't get far with it.
But come on, isn't that also part of the kind of like the agreement stuff, you know? Like, we are allowed to make custom parts for these figures. That's awesome. But that also, I mean, it would be kind of stupid to make copies of what they are doing. That would kind of like mess up the relationship, you know?
Yes.
So you just don't do that.
Right. No, I'm saying, like, there's people actually getting ahead of them to some degree. You know what I mean? Before they're coming out with stuff, or just coming out with some cool stuff where people are saying, "Ooh, yeah, that's like the next evolution of that vampire or whatever." Like, then they're behind the scenes going, "Yeah, we know,
right?
It's coming."
Don't you think though that they just do it because, like, Eric's stuff is so out of the park? Like, I don't think they care. Like, not that they don't care, but they're just like, no, we're gonna do it. We're not gonna stop doing it.
Yeah, my next thing I was gonna say is, but then I get the stuff in hand. Like, I've got this new stuff in hand, and I go, wow, like, this is fresh. This is new. This is like,
it's amazing.
Been doing this, and it's great. And you're gonna plots, man. It's great.
It's it's funny story, real quick. Sorry, I actually, like, over a year ago, or I forget when, I had a headless horseman I was working on. I had a torso, and it had no head. I had a hand. I had that. I had a file for it, and I was working on it. And then they did Krampus, the figure obscura, and I knew what. And they talked about what it was going to be, and I said, "This project's done. Like, they're gonna do a freaking headless horseman at Halloween. They have to. So I don't have to do this anymore."
I mean, Eric Miller did the whole thing, man. He put it together, and it was like, there's the headless horseman. There you go. Yeah, this looks incredible.
One thing I wanted to say on this too, because Steven painted this, and just the way that he paint matched the torso and the head to those centaur arms. I mean, we just got those new parts in hand, and to paint match that, because that's not the same color as the stuff that we've already got. So I thought he did a great job on that paint match there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep. It's pretty good. It's not bad.
He does all right.
Yeah. It was fantastic. Steven's great. Just don't get
that's just the behind the scenes shot of, like, me at my kitchen playing with parts, just to show you, like, like kind of where the first.
But that looks amazing too. That's very cool too, with the armored body and that's really cool.
You're working on your Harryhausen stop motion in your kitchen there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Very cool. So now okay, so let's talk a little bit about this, because I'm assuming some of these parts, if not all of them, will be available, if not at LegionsCon, they will be available on wolfkingcustoms.com, because recently you announced that you are doing perpetual availability. What are we calling it? Perpetual stock. On thing. Everything listed on the site will be available immediately in limited quantities. You're not going to have 100 of these things sitting around, but they'll always restock at some point. So and you're going to have that method of being able to be alerted when it goes back up in stock, which is awesome. I mean, that's incredible. How did that come about? And, like, I mean, I guess that explains the wall behind you, Len. Like, that,
absolutely. I couldn't do it without some organization. That was one of the trickiest parts of making it work. But that's something I always wanted. I was never a huge fan of, like, the pre-order system, so to say. Like, I always wanted, like, parts to be available all the time. And I know a lot of the artists I worked with, like Emil, like, he wanted them. So if he showed a custom, like his Storm Shadow he showed recently, he doesn't have to be like, well, you can't have these parts right now. if you want to make this, but you have to wait for the sale, or you have to. So he could be like, here's this custom. Look, then people say, how did you do it? He can be like, go right here and get them because they're right there. So that to do that, I had to keep printing like ahead. So every time there was like a pre-order cycle that ended, I would just keep printing, storing, printing, storing, printing, storing, until I got to the point where I said, okay, I think we have enough that at least 90% of the website of available items can be in sale. And one of the reasons is because of the storage system. My friend Cookie, you guys know Cookie. I know some of you guys do. He had a Lego store with Bricklink for years, and this was his system. He closed it down, and he's like, do you want the cases? And I'm like, yes, please. That would be great. Yeah. So now I can have each drawer sync up with the SKU numbers on a product on the website. And when I go to pull orders, I just look at the SKUs, go to the drawer, take what I need, check inventories online, see when it gets low, when I have to restock the drawers. So it's really cool. Like it definitely is working. Yeah. And but it took time. It took time and a little bit of like logistical figuring out to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you say it took time, but we think about.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say what you've done in 2 years. It's remarkable. I mean,
Thanks, man.
I mean, not only is the stuff that you keep putting out and the people you work with, 2 of which are with us, is amazing. The quality is always top notch too.
Thanks.
Well, yes. I think the other good thing with the new system that Len's using is you get this stuff so much faster. Like I know, as a customizer, there's been times where I've ordered parts from, I've ordered parts from many different companies, and sometimes by the time they come in, I've already finished the custom doing something else. Whatever I had in my mind, I've already done it, because I just couldn't wait. And, with, having the parts already printed up and ready to go, Len's able to pack and ship them super quick. Like I know, I think it was ZoloCon, or it was one of them that Len was going to the show, and he's like, hey, can you just kind of post out there that any purchases made on Friday, I'll get them out Monday morning. And I'm like, I mean, that's super fast anyway, but he just wanted people to know, like, if you purchase something on Friday, it's going to go out Monday because I'm at the show all weekend.
Yeah.
So I think that's another aspect of it that's really helpful.
Yeah, for
sure.
Sure.
I got to say, the stuff that I've ordered from you has always been quickly shipped, man. It's been incredible. But this is amazing. Like, even the painted stuff. Like, you're going to have painted stuff, which is, again, in limited quantities.
Yeah.
But perpetually available, either in unpainted or painted, is going to be not everything. I mean, obviously, not everything's going to be painted, but it's pretty amazing, man. It's a lot of organization, and good for you, man. Congratulations. That's
Thank
an
you.
Awesome milestone to hit.
It's
something like this.
It's funny, like what Joe just said in the chat was, it takes pressure off, and that really.
Yes.
That really did open it up to be able to get a lot of old stuff out again. A lot of the new things you're seeing of mine are things that are that they're like a year old and no one's ever seen before. But because I was always behind the 8 ball with pre-orders, you're constantly fulfilling pre-order, and you can't get to the tinkering with the old stuff to make it work.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not in that situation, I can. And then that's why, like, every Friday I'll be like, oh, here's this like skeleton head with like a mesh cap on it. Even though that's a year old, no one's seen it because it's been sitting around. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, the temptation is to do the pre-order though, right? You know what I mean? Like, you get that cash flow and you know what your people are ordering. But I think the fact that you've established this reputation for quality and service allows you to do this now. You know what I mean? You don't have to prove it, or you don't have to like have that cash flow going at this point to say like we need to get all those pre-orders in, and then we're again. You start out that way, and you're always behind the 8 ball for a while. You know what I mean? Until you take that little break and sort of get yourself caught up. Cooper Terrans?
Corruptrins.
Corrupt from the God's Fire.
Corruptrins from God's Fire. Right.
We have them right now.
Spelling?
There's a set.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. I didn't know.
I think Rob's probably looking for the human heads to be painted. Curtis. I have a feeling. I think I've talked to him before. I think he's looking for the human version. The Corruptians are the. Well, Emil, you tell us who they are real quick.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything.
The Corruptorans are the. You could actually compare them to kind of like a vampire race. You know, they are ever living warriors, fancy warrior vampires without pointy ears.
Yeah, they're super cool.
They're full sets. They have pauldrons, they have helmet head versions, unhelmet head versions, and for some reason they got like overlooked last year because they came out almost exactly this time. They came out in like right at LegionsCon last year was their premiere, and I think with the big just craziness of LegionsCon, they got really overlooked as a set. But man, they're awesome, and I'll tell you, as my painting, I love to paint them. Like they're my favorite things to paint because they're easy. Or hard. It's like whatever you want to do with it.
Len, they actually also have the same sword as the Believer.
I know. I just didn't know if that was a spoiler. I didn't think I should say it.
Well, we'll say that, but we haven't published that part of the storyline why it is the same sword as the Believer.
Rob said yes, painted human heads.
Are they up here on the page or no? Are they? I know I saw them on the Cabal, but
you'd have to go back like almost a year.
Yeah, that's
go back.
Oh, really?
There's probably some, but
you posted them recently.
Again. Well, Steven painted some recently.
Okay,
but you know how how Facebook shuffles everything up.
Yeah, these are great too. You guys were all over the chest plates too, which is just super cool innovation. By the Four Horsemen. I mean, this is how they kind of, I guess, stay ahead of all of us. By this is a great idea, and just makes customizing these things so much better. Because I mean, Jeremy's talked about this, where the torsos are a bit difficult with resin.
Yeah.
And somebody in the chat was just talking about how the breakability. He'll look at them, sneeze, and they'll break. You do have to be careful with them. It's resin. It's a fragile material. This is just such a great way of not having to do the entire torso and having to, because with resin you're never going to get quite that pop
exactly
with the arms and stuff into the joints and things. So you can avoid that whole thing by having this, this torso that you can pop on a chest plate and just create whatever you want on it. It's pretty
brilliant.
Pretty cool.
We did some write-off. I mean, pretty fast, but there are some that I'm really looking forward to sculpt. But preparing for LegionsCon, it's you have to wait. You can't rush. Yeah. So
here's
there are more stuff there.
I am totally picking this up, and I am gonna completely rip this off, Doug.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I saw the when Alithia at the G-Con Alithia launched in an interview, because that was the virtual one. Eric he said we're doing these plates. And I don't think anyone heard it. I heard it, and Jeremy.
I heard it,
and we were both like, "Whoa, what's that about? Modular? You're doing modular?" And the second I got my hands on the first figure that I could. I went right to it, like to making something, and those were actually my sculpts because I've been fiddling with ZBrush, and in a weekend I got it right, like the fit, and they look decent, and I sent the the template to Emil, and of course what he sends me back is like perfect. They're so clean and gorgeous, and they're great. They're taking a little while to catch on, but that's because Alithia is still catching on. Like everyone's still getting them, getting used to them.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many new parts with Alithia to begin with that people are just, I think, kind of having fun playing with those things. And I don't know if people forget that those pop off. You know what I mean? There may be a lot of people that we got some.
I saw somebody recently did one of those chest pieces with the Headless Horseman. I can't remember who that was, but they did the double breastplated one.
Do you remember that was JV Respunk? I don't know I forget his real name, but that's what he goes by.
That was really cool. I mean, that figure looks great anyway, but it just added a little bit to it that was pretty awesome.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Colin. I don't know what this means. But that could be taken many ways, and really neither of them are true. So like, no.
And I think you deleted the some comments in there, but I don't know who lives in U City, but apparently there's free girls there.
Oh, well, there you go.
I've never heard of U City. Sounds fun.
Rob's yes, painted human heads. Oh, that's what we were talking about earlier. Right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's what I thought Rob wanted. I was.
And he said, yeah, back to November 21. Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I know last year at LegionsCon, that was kind of a big display that Steven had. He had the 3 Corruptians, and he had them painted with some different colors that he wanted to try. And those look really good.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. Someone bought them, too. They bought the whole set from him. I don't remember who. Might have been Greg.
Yeah, I don't remember who.
Yeah.
Because I think, didn't he have them on one of Noah's spinning turntables at LegionsCon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that in a video.
So this is a hack scale, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I had these Hacks figures for a while because I wanted to see what we could do
really
with them.
cool. Yeah.
And I did a couple of the Painmongers in that scale just to see, and they came out awesome.
How do you find this community? I mean, I know it's not as large, but are there a lot of people doing customizing with this stuff, or is it just a personal passion?
I feel like when I was first looking at it, like a year ago, or maybe even a year and a half, that's how long, it wasn't going on. They all want it painted. No one paint it. They wanted things they can just pop on.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was limiting was that Boss Fight actually makes like add-on parts.
Packs, right?
They make packs. So like I was looking at doing that one, the squid head that I did 2 years ago, and they already had one. I'm like, well, Boss Fight's making them themselves. No one's going to buy this. So I just kind of forgot about it. Yeah. But I stayed in one of the groups, like, the Facebook groups for them. And I noticed a lot more customizing going on now than what there was then. So I kind of revisited it and thought maybe it's time that we see some God's Fire in the 4-inch scale.
That's pretty cool, man. These are great figures. I mean, if I hadn't been so, I'm getting into some of the what are they called? Blanking. But the 1/18th scale acid rain and stuff like Joy Toy.
Joy Toy.
Joy Toy,
and you too, Dave. You've been doing some stuff with Joy Toy too. Some really cool images.
Thanks.
It's fun, man, but it is another scale to build like dios for and stuff. And I was just looking at this yesterday because there's always a guy that has a bunch of hacks pieces at the show, and I've bought some horses and stuff like that as background, characters for or background figures or stuff for shots. But they're very cool. I love that scale. Could totally get into them, but I'm just so invested in Legions.
But what is that book?
Fantasy wise. What is that book? Oh, this is a nice book. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a nice book. Just a little spell book.
Have you done that?
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was me.
I need that. I didn't. Yeah. I'm not seeing that.
I'll give you one in a couple weeks.
Are we going to see that LegionsCon, Len?
What's that?
Wow.
I'll have some. Yeah, it's not something I'd probably sell, but I'll have a bunch.
No. Why won't you sell it?
Yeah, I'll definitely
buy one.
Want one, yeah.
For sure, I'll buy one.
I don't like to. Yeah,
You'll sell it.
Go back up to that the new mushroom head guy. That's a new.
Oh yeah.
That was up in the top right.
I just saw this today. Yep.
That's one of Jeremy's that he did with Walter. And Eric Bertram actually, like, it was his idea. He sketched it. He did a really cool sketch of it. So Jeremy let him do the first build of it. Like, he had me send him the first print with the hands and feet to make a gnome that he wanted to do, and Eric got to reveal it. So that was pretty cool that we involved him with it. He's a super nice guy. And yeah, it's cool. The texture and the detail and everything on this thing is just
all the stuff woven in the beard and it's fantastic.
It's like you don't even see it until it gets painted. There's a lot of Walter stuff that's like that you have a hard time even seeing what's there until you start getting paint on it, and then you're like, oh, look at that, there's leaves there, there's this,
damn it, that's supposed to be a leaf. I painted that.
That's a beautiful sculpt.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love the gnome scale too. Like if you don't have any of those gnome kits in your collection, it does add a lot. Just having that little variety, just kind of like the brute scale, I think is going to do for us when we start getting those in hand. I think the gnome kits really add something extra to your, what you got going on.
And again, and I don't know if this is the case, but it's like that may just be ahead of the game with the Horsemen as well. I don't know if they've had that in mind to do.
Can you
legs
see that? But
yeah, let's see that, Len. Can you unbiggen Len real quick?
Right here.
Trevor?
Oh.
Yeah, I've actually got a painted version of that on my Instagram, Trevor, that I just did. That's the mage. That's the new mage that just came out from Walter, DeMarco, and
awesome.
Jeremy.
You've got that on your Instagram page?
Yeah.
This guy was kind of inspired by Curtis too, right, Curtis? I mean, this was like.
Yeah, I kind of like as soon as the little critter parts started coming out, I was immediately hitting up Jeremy like, hey, we need to do this to make gnomes. And I was just beating that drum right from the get-go. And as a old World of Warcraft player, like that was something that I wanted. And so they did like the garden gnome and that kind of thing. And I'm like, that's great and all, but I need like some mage, wizard, spell casting, like give me some awesome gnomes. Yeah, it's that one right there.
Where?
In the middle.
Oh, right there.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. There you go. It's the Heat Miser.
It's fun.
That's
Great
awesome.
dial to go with it.
Yeah, my
Those
wife
are
actually
those
made
legs.
that. She's been getting into dios lately, and it's been pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Really nice.
Working out together,
Little,
making art together.
Yeah.
Love it.
Fantastic. Yeah, so check out Curtis's IG at Sit and Smash on Instagram. I think that is in the description at the bottom if you want to jump onto there. See some of his amazing paint jobs. Incredible.
I'll go to the Mud Thumps.
This is fantastic. Oh yeah, what's the Mud Thumps?
The Mud Thumps are great. It's another
I like this
family
guy too.
affair.
This reminds me of Chris Claremont. I told Jeremy that. I'm like, this is Chris Claremont I just want to get it and make it a Chris Claremont. I love this. This is freaking
so
great.
good.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of example of something that, like, this is not something the Horsemen are going to do, but like,
No.
It's so fun. Like, it's just a different aspect of this, of these figures, to make it something that's more like, married with children within mythos. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, and that's one of those examples where,
this is fantastic.
like, you read the bio.
So good.
like on this one, I actually pulled from the bio, but I actually pulled from the Legions Lounge episode that you guys had with Steven and Emil. And one of you guys, and I don't remember who, but one of you made the comment of that she was kind of like a barfly.
Yeah,
trying to pick up a new. Yeah, she was trying to pick up a new man because she's got all these kids at home and she needs somebody to help out. So that's what my inspiration was as I made this.
Look at you big and strapped. I love those wings. Oh my god.
Where's Belthagor?
Oh my god, it's like Madam or something from. Nobody understands that reference, but if you're old,
I'm with you.
I got you.
It's because you're old. It's great. And then let's jump over to Emil Wickman.
Yeah, dude, you've been cranking out the.
Yeah, so if you're coming to LegionsCon, you're going to see stuff. There you go. There's everybody's favorite Raging Cajun. Right there.
I was really happy with this one. I must admit, man. I was really happy with it.
What I love about what you do with these things is the taking pieces. I'm hearing some echo. I don't know why I'm hearing echo.
I heard it.
Taking pieces of the characters, like the cape, like the jacket, and like you're incorporating that into this in a way that it's not a jacket. You know what I mean? It's a cape, but it still creates that look. You can totally recognize this character. I mean, the head sculpt is perfect. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even the gauntlets being cuffs on the jacket, it's great, man. Really, really great. Amazing.
Thanks.
This is one that I told Emil right away I'm stealing. Like, I love all his work, but this is one I'm like, I'm taking that recipe.
Dude, I've tried to pay the man for things, and he doesn't want to sell anything. So like,
so
I guess stealing is the only way. We're getting
right.
So,
You've got are there 3 left that you're saving for LegionsCon?
4. There are four Marvel characters that is in New Jersey already, waiting to be revealed at LegionsCon.
Oh, what you did with this hat and the color scheme is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love that you didn't go with a green, like a bright green. I love this more muted, foresty. It's more medieval. It just it fits the style of it. It's great.
So this one was really something that when the Lithia Way went up for pre-order, I instantly wanted to make a Doom.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for it for so long.
Yeah, let's talk about.
Of course, there are stuff that has changed in my mind since then, but this part, the hood, and this main body, that's
Yeah, Doom just lends himself to this line, and it's perfect. Yeah, how did you make the head? Is that something you sculpted?
There's a photo, the last photo in this.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember reading about it. You actually kind of hand sculpted this?
Well, I bought plastic cards, like hard plastic sheets, and I just tried to.
Cool.
Well, I tried something new here.
Amazing.
It's not perfect. I'm not, but it was fun to try it, and it's like,
but you know what?
We're learning all the time.
I like the way it looks. Like it's almost like there's rough, like it was made roughly, and I actually like that better than if it had been perfectly asymmetrical or symmetrical, not asymmetrical, but it is asymmetrical. But I like it better. I think it just fits what you're trying to do with these is bringing Marvel into like this medieval mythos world, and I think this fits better. Like he's almost like the man in the Iron Mask type of thing, and it's not supposed to be pretty. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be kind of ugly. So very, very cool.
All right, so that's the middle one.
What?
Down a few rows that shows sort of where he's been in the 4 left. Let's see. Keep going down. Right there in the middle.
In the middle.
Above the note. Yep. Right above that
picture.
one.
Above that one. Oh, here. Oh, you're talking about the Marvel ones. Come on, use your word.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. Middle. Marvel.
Middle.
Yep.
No.
So,
yeah.
I thought that I was gonna. From the beginning, I hadn't planned to have any reveals, but then I figured it was really fun. I talked to Eric Miller about it, that I really appreciate just the small element of surprise, that you're seeing something new. So from the start, I decided that these 4 will be reveals. They have been done for quite some time. The sad part with that is that it's kind of like I want to redo stuff on them already, but they're in New Jersey. So, too late. Too late.
Yeah, and like I think, for this kind of stuff, I think, I think that is cool to do things when you're doing customs that you're not necessarily selling, to show people, to have it be a reveal at the show is an enticement to go over to your table.
Can I tell you one thing about the tribute, the figures? Because you see the photos, the end product. I really love this hobby, all of us do, of course.
I can tell.
But it's like, I really love it. So when I prepare a new character, of course I have like 10 Marvel projects started, but it's like I start YouTube at work when I have like stuff to do that are you don't have to think a lot. And to the left I have on the screen. Then for Doom, for example, Doom costumes. I search on YouTube different Doom or origin of Doom. So I kind of get into the feel of this is just silly, of course, but I enjoy it so much that it's like, what is the essence of Doom? What is his eye color? What is his, and then I put together something like this.
Oh yeah.
I take out what photos do I need?
Little style guide, little inspiration board,
and just enjoying that process. And of course, sometimes it's just with Storm Shadow, for example. I didn't do something like this because it just came. The ideas.
That's kind of funny. I do that for photography too. Taking
you do?
taking some elements, like looking. You look at a piece of art, Frazetta or whoever, and there's an element there, and like try to find somebody else who's doing something similar like that, and then try to make that into your own type of thing. It's kind of cool.
Cool.
Cool. So you're bringing a lot of custom stuff. Yeah. Len, you're bringing a lot of stuff. You're going to be, let's take a look at the map real quick, where you guys are going to be in terms of everybody here.
Len is actually bringing my stuff. It's already at his place, most of it.
Well, you have your own table, though, correct?
I'm so sorry. You have so much stuff at your... I'm sorry for the big boxes.
It's fine.
There's a meal. Oh, right next to them. My wife is going to kill me, guys. Good Lord.
Who are they?
Yeah, oh my God. And then you're conveniently right behind the 3 Wolf King Customs tables.
Yeah.
And then where are you, Curtis?
I'm with Wolf King Customs.
Oh, you're going to be Wolf King Customs. Okay, cool. All right, cool.
So if you remember my display,
so nice. Look at that.
It's all kinds of cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
If you're it's going to get filled up with everyone's customs. A lot of people in the community. I invited a lot of fans, like friends.
Nice.
Maybe you don't have enough to do a table. Maybe you just don't want to deal with it. Come and show it. So awesome. We're definitely going to have a lot. I'm a little nervous because I'm starting to realize how much stuff people are sending me, and these are like their babies, right? Yeah. And I know Curtis sent me his stuff for ZoloCon, his gnomes, and I was nervous then. I have like Jeremy's stuff, and I'm gonna have some of Jesse Arnold stuff, and I'm gonna have Doug's. We're gonna have all those centaurs from Doug.
Wow, sweet.
and I got some surprise people sending me stuff that I know we weren't doing surprises, but there's a surprise. I got a surprise person giving me stuff, and it's gonna be like I'm a little nervous. It's a lot of responsibility to get this done.
Yeah, just handling other people's, customs and stuff like that is.
Yeah, Will White, Will's bringing stuff, and luckily, Curtis is coming with Will, so I shackled the 2 of them into helping me. I'm like, you guys gonna have to help me because it's gonna be a lot to set up,
Yeah. Well, that's kind of brings me up into so this is, I think this is going to be so much fun. Let me just want to jump onto Rob's.
Len, you may have just revealed too much information.
Pushing. He's already spent like $10 already, for this, trying to get you to sell this to him. So you do the man a favor.
Maybe I could just skip LegionsCon.
That's right. So this setup this year, I think it's always been a little crazy, and last year was fun, but I think the fact that we have a night to do this. And we're all at the hotel. We're not rushing off to separate places for the most part. I think it's going to be so much fun, man. I think that's going to be probably my favorite part of the whole thing is that night setting up with people. It's going to be great seeing people, everybody from the community. Yeah. It's all going to be great. But just being able, like last year, I did not really get to go around and spend a lot of time at tables. I was quickly grabbing stuff, I'll take this, I'll take that, I'll take this, and talking to people for 5 minutes at a time. And I can't wait for this night just to be able to sit and chat with people and look at this.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that's a good segue. I know we're kind of getting late, but do we want to go into because we've talked to everybody else we've had on in the 3 previous shows, what are you guys looking most forward to at this year's LegionsCon? Len?
It's really just playing off what we just discussed, and we get a day of setup, and we have 2 days of show, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to be able to go around and see people, talk to people, meet people, see what they made. Last year, I didn't leave the table. I left my table. I didn't Trevor. I think you were right across from me, and I didn't even go get to see your stuff.
I know.
It was we were literally throwing the table together when the people were coming in the morning, and I know Nate, you were helping me. Everyone's throwing stuff out, or because it was just you didn't have the time to do anything, and
it was madness. Yeah, it was madness.
The first thing I did,
all because of bingo.
Yeah,
that's right. It was bingo. Bingo winning.
And I'm super, super excited that I can actually like walk the floor and go walk around, see people, talk to people. You know, that's going to be great.
We're holding you to that, Walter.
Hell yeah. Don't even be kidding about that, man. I expect tacos.
Yeah, eating tacos and handling customs sounds like a good combo.
Perfect, right? Sour cream and beer and fragile customs. It's perfect.
Yeah, that's true. Walter, we had like banners up last year, and there were a couple times that Walter came over and him and I snuck behind the banners just to breathe for a couple minutes, because it was like, you know, it was not that, it was just, you know, you meet people and you want to talk about everything, and it was a different element because ToyCon New Jersey was happening. Yeah. So there were many people that wandered in that didn't even know what the hell we were doing.
Exactly.
Right.
And they are like, well, what's this? Well, what, you know, well, you have parts that can go on that, and you have to explain to everyone. And I met people that are now in the cabal, part of the community, that they didn't know where they were looking at. So it wasn't because like, oh, I was like, you know, I was making so much money and going crazy. It's just like, you're super excited and you're talking to everyone and trying to like get them hooked, so to say, on the hobby, on the figures and everything in general, because you're excited about it.
Sure,
that was cool, and I think we're gonna miss a little bit of that this year, obviously, because it's not attached to something where people are just kind of going, what is this? You know, you have to go there. Yeah. There is that element that's going to be different, but I think it's going to be nice too, just because everybody's kind of on the same page. And like,
I think we're picking up the slack for that doing the other shows too, though. You know, we did RetroCon, we're doing ZoloCon,
absolutely.
And like my thoughts are those are like kind of educational shows.
Absolutely.
And that's what you do. You're just like, that's the mode you're in. You're not in salesman mode, you're in education mode, and you're selling people on it. Like at RetroCon a couple weeks ago, there were a lot of people that wandered in and they see this big display of all these awesome customs and all these things, and they're like, what is this? And I have to walk them over to the Horsemen's table and be like, it all starts here.
I remember you doing that at ZoloCon last time. Like, here, come here, let me show you. And
and that's what I did at Retro. It's wild. It's just, it's really cool.
That's true. Yeah, that is good. Like that's where you hook them, and those people will be at LegionsCon next year probably.
The shows.
And I know they are.
Nate Barch did, and the boys from Legion's Lair did. And
I got an offer, Travis. From someone that didn't know the line or what the figures were costing or anything. So I got an offer to sell one of my customs for $35 last year, and I was just trying to be polite, and I mean just to go
to 30.
I offered you a lot more than that, man. I mean,
I know.
A lot more.
I know.
But I understand.
I know.
It's not happening.
And
I get it.
The craziest thing was hearing me say no to that, and realizing that I was like trying to come up with something in my head, like what amount would be. And it's like, well, I love this hobby and I want to take more photos of these together. And it's like, you know,
it's an amount no one would be willing to pay.
Exactly.
For you to take it, to say,
deep fried Oreos you could have bought with that money.
And see, I'm not saying they are worth that money, but to me they're worth that. You know, it's not like, he's such a douchebag thinking that he will sell them. No, I don't think I will sell them, because that's not my plan. You know,
I completely understand. I was shocked, and I think I was shocked that I offered you. Because I'm not sure if I had that, but anyway, no. But I mean, it's totally they're priceless. I mean, I know, like even small things I do that come out like really good. You know what I mean? Like I look at it, I go, I can't sell this. I have no use for it, but I can't sell it because I put so much work into this. Right. It's very hard. I don't know how you guys do it, man. It's crazy.
Quick thanks to T. Bellet.
For sure.
He says, thanks for hosting the Road to LegionsCon. I'm looking forward to flying out and meeting everyone in a few weeks. Right on.
Well, come by and say hi, and please grab a name tag at the front, because I think Walter is making them, which is awesome, because we need them desperately. So $40 then?
You got it. You have no idea what custom it was.
So, Curtis, what are you looking forward to most? I mean, this is going to be your first LegionsCon. I think that's going to be a big part of it right there, right? I mean, what else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody talks about meeting everybody and talking, and that is going to be probably the biggest thing, is just all these people that I've talked to a million times, seeing them for the first time is going to be the biggest thing. Yeah. But from a Legions perspective, I think G-Con is what I'm most excited for. Yeah, well, I'm excited for Intern. I'm excited for LegionsCon, but the opportunity to see these things first live is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And
dude, you're gonna shit your pants.
Yeah. I'm so excited. So
it's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. You're gonna have so much fun there, man. I'm really happy that you're going to that. I can't wait to see you there. And the fact that they just started doing that with like Intern for a Day is like, yeah, come back for G-Con, and everybody hangs out in the back, and that
was awesome.
It's so much fun, man.
I think my understanding is that Walter just kind of made an offhand comment to Jeremy, like, hey, do you want to bring these guys back tomorrow? And Jeremy's like, yeah, that's a great idea. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to that. The G-Con event is definitely the thing that I'm looking forward to most, other than like I said, just meeting everybody.
And hopefully we got that delay figured out. I think Jeremy told me they got that figured out in the back because it was always like, what do you guys think?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that's fixed.
So Emil, besides the drive from Michigan to New Jersey, which I know is the highlight last year, what are you looking forward to?
Well, last year, I mean, there were, for example, last year, the thing, I mean, that was one of the best experiences of my life. So many things happen. I mean, meeting all the people, that's like so big. It's hard to explain how much that meant. Being at G-Con, that was like, it's still hard to grasp. It has been a year, and I'm like, I got to be there.
Right.
That picture of you looking at the figures in hand, it says it all, man. That was
it's like, and CB is like, when I got in there, like, Emil, and I was like, what? My name? You said my name? It's like, I felt like, try to not look like you're a fanboy, but I was. And it's like, and then he says, like, to me and Jacob, you guys are up next. And we're like, yeah, sure. And it's like, I'm sitting there and being interviewed by Eric Treadaway. It's like, or I mean, interviewed. We were talking. It's like, I don't know if I have any more life goals, Well, but you know what I mean? That was one of those moments, like, it's not getting better than this, And so that was one of the great things. Now I'm really looking forward to meeting all my friends, including the 4 Horsemen,
Yeah, it's gonna be better than that this year, man. I think it's gonna outdo last year, even this year, man. I think it's
and you have another thing. This is my favorite factions we're seeing this year. Ooh, I've been looking forward to these 2 factions since I saw my first G-Con with the Aether Wave outdoors in the summer in Sweden.
Wow.
Like Aetheron has never been like my favorite faction, but
the Knights are.
It might be now.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Why is that?
Maybe not. It's probably not taking over Leodicius, but it is.
But still, if it's up for contention, that means something. We're about to see something badass. Can't wait.
Well, and I was listening to the My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me podcast this morning, and it sounds like you've got a new couch to look forward to, Emil. Steven went out and bought a couch to impress you. So
yeah,
you need to make sure how much you let him know that you like it.
Wow. Aren't you special? A couch.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to try that couch and meet his pets, and again.
I wonder what Goodwill store you got that from.
Oh no.
From the office or something like that.
One of the most scary things was going into my room at Steven's house by myself and just relaxing, and then after a while, I saw something moving in the door, in the opening of the door, standing like this. And I was like, what is that? Oh yeah, my cat has cerebral palsy. It's nothing to laugh about. And I was like, so it was just, but it's so cute. But I was surprised, you know.
Yeah, you don't expect that. You should kind of state that up front, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking forward to seeing you too, bub, man. I hope you're wearing that mask because that's the only way I'm going to recognize you.
Right.
You will stand out that way.
Well, and Emil's bringing Tomas with him too, so
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun.
Swedes. Wow.
I don't know if he knows this, but we've all pitched in and rented a motorcycle for him to drive from Michigan all the way to New Jersey next.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So 2 vans and a motorcycle.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like some kind of movie.
Right.
It does. That's a road trip.
How cool is it though that this event has gotten to be like a destination event that people plan a year out ahead of time? They travel across, the world, and like that's just awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing, man.
Spain,
it's amazing.
Italy. There are many countries. I mean, Britain. I mean, there are a lot of people coming in.
Yeah, it's incredible. And to know that they've already maxed out. They're looking for a bigger place for next year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not many. I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean, I know we've had PowerCon in the past for Masters of the Universe, and things Masters of the Universe adjacent, obviously, and later on in years. But other than that, I can't.
No, Nate. No. No, please.
That's sticking, man. I'm getting a shirt made that way for sure.
No, we don't.
But around a line centric, man, it's pretty incredible, man. It's pretty incredible to have this many people be interested in that and coming to it. Mr. Allen is going to be a guest. I've told Mr. Allen this. Allen's coming on. We're going to get him on. I think we might get him on after the LegionsCon stuff because we're trying to get everybody who's going to LegionsCon, or at least as many people as we can. And again, if we don't get everybody, we probably won't get everybody. We're going to do some lives from there, and we'll go in and talk to the people that we didn't get on the show, or maybe after the show to see how they felt and how it went for them and how they liked it. Everybody's going to get on the show, man.
We're just waiting for Mr. Allen's Legions Lounge theme song. We're giving him enough time to compose.
Actually, that's a very good idea. I would like a combination of Mr. Allen's the theme song and one of Emil's animations.
To
be the opening. I may have to talk to you about that.
That's a match made in heaven right there. Yeah, we got to make it happen.
We have to do something like that for sure.
I just love every time that he sings Corn Boy's name. That's my favorite.
Corn Boy. Character is my favorite thing. I love that guy. He's so awesome, man. He's great.
Yeah, Emil, your video you made
the other day.
Oh my god, so fun.
Oh yeah.
Which one?
For the 100th episode, the animation.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you. And that was a really crazy.
Funny.
I mean, he Mr. Pooh, he just reached out. I mean, Chris, he reached out to me just like, okay, can you make a movie? This was late in the evening, and so yeah, sure, it's a 100th episode. Of course I want to do it. And it's like, this is short on time. Yes, I know, he said. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to bed now. I have 24 hours from now to finish a movie from start to scratch.
Wow.
So I was basically, okay, what am I going to do? And that's
Michael
like,
Bay, that shit.
I've been wanting to make a cartoon, but of course I can't make a cartoon and I mean animated movie in this short of a time. Maybe I can. Maybe just not a good. It doesn't have to be good animation. It just have to be. If it can be. So like when I woke up, I was like, I was walking to work with my phone, looking around so no one would see me, and then it's like trying different lines and stuff. Oh, maybe this could be a character coming like this. And then before I went home from work, I wrote the script down. I came home. I told my wife, "Yeah, I'm going upstairs." So I took the computer, recorded the like blah 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 and scream. And then it's like had some food, put myself on the couch, and like I really have to work this evening. My wife's like, "Sure." So I was sitting there in the sofa, and then at 1 o'clock in the night, it's like sent it to, and like, this will have to do.
That's amazing.
But I really want to do a real animated movie. It would be really fun to make, a real animation.
Man. I want an opening because our opening scares Steve, so we have to do something else.
I love your opening.
We were talking about Emil's animation yesterday in the customizing studio, and he's like, so then they're playing the 100th episode, and they've got all these little clips of people coming on, and he's like, I see these people just like with their face up to their phone and just talking to the phone, and I'm like, I could have done that.
You could have just redressed up as Azar or Zazar or Zazar.
I didn't realize that was an option, and I was like,
as a Hazar.
Wow.
Yeah, I could have done as a Hazar. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Let's give away. I got t-shirts. Let's give away a t-shirt. Real quick here. I'm just gonna put this in the chat. Wolf King. Hashtag Wolf King in the chat. Hang on,
I thought for sure you're gonna do 2 Swedes 1 con.
Oh, 2 Swedes 1 con. It's too long to type. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna torture people.
I want one of those shirts. Can I go in and? No, I can't. I'm gonna get no.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'll get you a shirt, man. Don't worry about it.
I really like that shirt. The logo for Legions Lounge. I think
cool?
It's really, really cool.
The shirts came out great. Dave did an excellent job on these, man. And,
yes, he did,
man.
He had to rework everything because I gave him some artwork that had to be touched up. Not that it wasn't bad, just had to be separated and stuff for the printing and stuff. So it wasn't easy. He did a great job.
I'll throw in a couple figures for the giveaway.
Oh no!
Wow.
Yeah, we'll do a couple of the deluxe Legion builder. We'll do the Gladiator and Barbarian.
Dude.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. All right,
That's
there you
so
go. All right,
generous,
we got a
man.
couple of. All right, we got. This is even bigger. Let's go. 66 people. All those. We had like 80 people in there at one point.
I'll throw in a prize pack.
Woo! Oh shit!
Yeah, I'll do some random parts.
All right, this is a big one.
That's also, and I will be just putting in. No, sorry, no. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have.
Gambit is also part of the.
I'll make the parts fit what Curtis put in. We'll do some God's Fire stuff.
Right on. That's
Probably,
awesome.
Nice.
Probably
Awesome.
almost
Thank
all
you
of
guys.
it.
Appreciate it. That's awesome. I feel like my lame T-shirt is like nothing now. Multiple winners. You know what? We'll do the Wolf King for this for these guys for the figures and the prize pack, and then I'll do another 2 Swedes 1 con for the T-shirt. How about that? It'd be easier to ship everything and get everything to people. So if we do it that way, so this will be Wolf King will be for the figures, courtesy of Curtis, and the prize pack courtesy of Len, and then we'll do a T-shirt after that. So is everybody in? All right, we got. Let's see. Let me bring this up here. We got 35 entries out of everybody who's here. So
wow. Make your international shipping disclaimer.
Yes, thank you, Nate. Thank you. Yes, if you're international, especially for you guys, right? Like you're gonna have to probably help to pay for, or do you want to just keep it to the States? It depends. It's up to you guys. This is your prize package, so.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with shipping it wherever.
Okay, well, but you're gonna have to help out with the shipping.
If you'd rather pick it up at LegionsCon, I can do that too. So. Okay,
there you go. You got that option too.
Yep.
So if you're out of the country, you might have to put in a little bit for shipping, but or you can pick it up at LegionsCon if you're coming. So, all right, you guys got about 5 more seconds here to put some entries in. We got 36 people. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're drawing this thing. Here we go.
Let's see.
Ooh. Oh, that technology.
And if Diego Lopez is out there, I don't think Diego got a hold of me. I could be wrong about that. Dead Milkman. Nice. Congratulations, man.
Woo! That's a great prize, man. Congrats.
That's an awesome prize. Thank you very much, you guys. So Dead Milkman, you can contact me. You can contact Len or Curtis. We'll organize this whole thing and try and get you everything. Let us know if you're coming to LegionsCon, because we could just do it all then too. And is he here?
Yep, he's still there. Yep.
Okay.
I like the name, by the way, Dead Milkman.
Dead Milkman 73.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're born in 73. I feel good about that because
Wow, Walter.
Yeah, me too.
Walter, you're killing me, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Cool. Thanks, Walt.
Thank you, Walt. And thank you, Curtis, and thank you, Len, man. That's a nice surprise.
Oh, no problem. Thanks
The
for
Dead
having
Milkmen
us.
are great, yes. I don't know. I don't see him. But okay, you won. Yes, very good. Cool. Let us know if how you want to do this. If you're going to be... Oh, he's going to the con. Awesome.
Oh, perfect.
Right.
Nice.
So cool. You can pick that all up there if you're okay with that. Let us know if you're okay with you picking it up at the con, and you can do that. Those guys will put that aside. They're very...
Send something ahead of time with your real name, so tons of people aren't walking up going, "I'm Dead Milkman 73."
That's true. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Dead Milkman.
Yeah, Dead Milkman 73. Yeah, that's me. Thanks.
Let us know your T-shirt size too. I'll get a nice T-shirt or two for you.
Awesome.
Cool.
No, I'm
Awesome.
sorry. I'm Dead Milkman 74. So
Sorry about that. All right, we're gonna do 2. If I can spell it right. 2 Swedes. 1 con. Oh God, I'm the worst at this. 2 Swedes, 1 con.
This hashtag.
I love it.
I love it.
It's genius.
I'm gonna type it in here, and then you can start.
Tomas is gonna be so excited when he sees this tomorrow.
I'm spray painting this on the side of Lord Stephen's van.
2 Swedes, 1 con for a T-shirt. If you're coming to LegionsCon, maybe and you want to pick it up there, I'll throw a little something extra in there too.
A tea and a fig from Walter.
And a fig from Walter too, yeah.
All right.
And maybe you can pick that. It's a lot of coordinating, but yes, a new T-shirt, Brick something, not something I've worn. unless you're into that, I can
Pay extra for that.
Throw it on for a few seconds. It's getting really weird.
I'm not making
one
any
con
statement for this.
Yeah. All right, we got 27 people. Anybody else in? Okay, we still got a few more people. I'll give you about 15 more seconds. Memories from the con while we're doing this. What do you guys like, Emil? Well, I guess you kind of talked about your memories.
Yeah.
Emil. I mean, for you, everything was incredible. Len,
Best time ever.
Len, you were at the first one, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the very first one, just outside the.
It's like in a closet. Yeah.
Okay, it was so small. We
Were
out
you
in the
Were you there,
hallway.
Trevor?
I was there. I was out in the
Oh, were
hallway
you?
next to Luis Torres and
Okay.
Luis Torres and who else was out in the hall with me?
I
can't
will call him.
remember. But yeah, it was wild.
Matt Rhodes, I think. Was it Matt? Matt was out there with you guys in the hall. I think Anthony had his
Matt
forge set
was-
up too.
I think my action figure customs was out there, and Anthony was.
Yeah, he had his
something
forge
Nicky
there.
Nicole did. Had a table, and I remember. Yeah, all I remember is I won a forest troll, and I was
I won-
insanely excited. Man.
Yeah, and I won a
So-
Brontis.
Oh, that's right. You ripped it open.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. And Len, you should say you are now kind of a co-host, regular co-host on Legions Cast.
Emil,
everybody's
you
gonna
gotta.
get a turn of that eventually, I guess.
You need to translate for us, pal.
Tvasvenskar.
Do I need to translate it, or do you? Två svenskar, ett kon.
Tvasvenskar
Två?
con. I got it right.
Två svenskar, ett kon.
Car
That's-
et con. Oh, car et con. Okay.
So that's Swedish for 2 Swedes, 1 con. I'm assuming. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
I just want to make
All
sure
right.
it wasn't anything
We got
too.
good
My wife's
people.
gonna kill me ish.
Here we go.
No, okay.
Brick's up
Hey,
there.
nice, man.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Awesome.
Now, I don't. Brick is not coming to the con, unfortunately, but Brick, I'll contact me tomorrow morning or tonight, and we'll figure something out. I'm gonna throw a little extra something in there with the T-shirt for you.
Cool. Congrats,
sir.
man. Great. He's always
Patron
with us.
of the
Great
show.
contributor to the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to everybody. Dead Milkman, yeah, like definitely reach out to me, or reach out to me. I'll coordinate with these guys and figure out what's going on.
I need to say something about
Yes.
Nate. One great thing in the car, candy corn and peanuts.
Oh my god, candy corn and peanuts. Yeah.
Oh man, that was a good combo. Oh,
I'll make you guys a special to-go bag this year.
I have thank you, because I have an itch for it. A craving
Make an
for
extra
it.
one, man. I might need that.
All right, I will. I'll make a bunch of batches.
Yeah. I've been longing for it for a year.
You can only get it in Michigan, so.
Yeah, I realize that. That's why I haven't tried to get it.
Oh, that's right. You got a figure from Walter too. That's right. That's cool. There you go. You got a figure from Walter and a T-shirt. So there you go. So yeah, get a hold of me and we'll get those out to you. Congratulations on that.
That's cool.
Guys, we've been going for 2 hours now.
Woo,
but that was
show.
an awesome conversation. Had a great time talking to you guys. So glad we finally got you on. I mean, Emil, you've been on like 6 times, I think, since we started on IG. I think like you were on. You stayed up for IG one time. You were on the show. Before.
That's right.
Yeah. You did the IG show. Yeah.
But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk to my friends. It's more.
Absolutely, man.
It's worth everything.
It's awesome.
That's how we do the show. It's basically a reason to talk to people we like and friends and people who are like into this stuff. So it's awesome, and meeting new people that are into it. Which, if you're going to LegionsCon, that's what you're going to do. It's what it's all about. Yeah, you're going to be buying a lot of stuff from these guys and other people, but it is going to be. It's an interesting thing, man. It's not a con that you just walk through and you go, okay, let's go home. You want to stick around to hang out with everybody and talk and go through everything again and look at it again and talk to the 4 Horsemen and stuff, and it's excellent. So
it's a big part of life,
again. It is. Yep. It is. It's weird. But it is.
It is. Exactly. It is weird, but the core of it all. Find something that you really enjoy. Find friends you really enjoy doing it with. Yeah. That's a huge part of living, Yeah. I'm grateful for this.
Great way to put it.
Grateful.
And it's outlets. It's art. It's photography.
Yes,
it's
a big
creativity. Part. It's business. You know what I mean? Like, people are creating businesses like Len around this, and it's crazy. Like, it is weird that because it's not just people collecting toys getting together to talk about the toys they collect. It's so much more than that. It's
it is
amazing.
Yeah, good way to put it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. We will see you next week. Still working out guests for that. But it's going to be somebody that you're going to see at LegionsCon, so tune in for that next Monday, and we will see. Hopefully, Bill will be back with us, and we'll see you then. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate
Thank you
coming
Thanks,
out.
man. It was great.
And,
cheers.
See you later.
Bye.